Hi, this is JL Murthy. Welcome to Rational Numbers episode number 3. As you are seeing in this particular slide, a rational number p by q in its lowest form has a terminating decimal expansion if and only if the prime factorization of the denominator q is of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, where n and m are non-negative integers. So, by an example, if you make an attempt to understand, it will be more clear. 18 by 24, if you take the given fraction without reducing it to lowest form, without reducing to lowest form, we are first experimenting, so which may result in error. Let us see what error we are going to get. So 24 naturally is 8 into 3, which is 2 cube into 3. So 2 power 3 into 3 power 1. That means a new factor 3 is entering into this particular factors of denominator. 3 is entering other than 2 and 5 indicates it is non-terminating. But the fact is different, right? 24 and 18 have 6 in common. Cancel it. So 3 by 4 you will get. 3 by 4 is nothing but 0.75. Or 4 as a denominator can be expressed as 2 power 2. So 2 power n 5 power m, n equal to 2, m equal to 0. So it is perfectly fitting into the format required, and therefore it is a terminating decimal. Just now we have solved it, 0.75. Within 2 decimals it will terminate. Okay. (2019) board question. We need to arrive at the result without actual division. Determine whether 17 by 8 has a terminating or non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. 17 by 8 is the fraction given. Let us analyze. 8 of course is expressible 2 power 3 into 5 power 0. But before factorizing I should arrive at simplest form, whether 17 and 8, do they have anything in common other than 1? So nothing is common, so it is already in its simplest form, and therefore 8 can be straight away tried for factorization, which comes to 2 power 3 into 5 power 0, which is of the form 2 power n 5 power m. Therefore 17 by 8 is a terminating decimal expansion. Okay, let us check what is the value of it. It is 2.125. So it is a terminating decimal with 3 decimal points. Next question, 2020 board question. Here, 6 by 15. Is the question. Whether it's terminating or unterminating is the question asked. 6 by 15, of course, is having 3 as common factor. Without that, if you try to do 15, you will have 3 as a factor, which may give a wrong indication that it is going to be a non-terminative one. But 3 cancels 6 and 15 to reduce it to 2 by 5. Now 5 of course is expressed in 2 power n, 5 power n with n 0 and m equal to 1. Okay, you are following, right? Which is of the form 2 power n, 5 power m. Therefore, it has a terminating decimal expansion. The result is of course 0.4. So here the explanation is, before going to prime factorization of denominator, we should first simplify the fraction to its lowest form, else it will result in error of decision. So the same thing what we have just explained. So in order to avoid errors, we need to make the given fraction into simplest form and then try for the factorization of the denominator for arriving at the decision whether it is terminating or non-terminating. 2018 a board question, we have 7 by 80. Again the same question, whether decimal or terminating or non-terminating is the question asked. 80 of course is nothing common in 7, so 7 by 80 is already in simplest form. So 80 can be written as 16 into 5. So 16 is 2 power 4 into 5 power 1. So 2n, 2 power n, 5 power m. So it is definitely a terminating decimal. So if you actually calculate, you will get 0.0875. Yes. Good. In 2019, we have a question of 3 marks. HCF of 65 and 117 is expressible in the form of 65m minus 117. Find the value of m and also find LCM of 65 and 117. Right? Now to find HCF, 117 and 65, you operate upon both these numbers. Yes, and if you follow that, you are getting 13 as HCF. And 13 is HCF of 65 and 117. Yeah. We have M available in 13 equal to 65m minus 117, or 65m is 130 and m equal to 2. So I got the value of m. Now to find LCM, HCF, of course I got 13 into LCM equal to 65 into 117, the numbers. Therefore LCM equal to 585. Now application based real number problems. We have two such applications explained. First one is traffic lights. Okay. We have 3 bells. They toll at a frequency of 9, 12 and 15 minutes respectively. The first one 9 minutes, second one 12 minutes, and third one 15 minutes. At these intervals they go on tolling. Now, if they start tolling together, after what time will they toll together again? That means this 9, 12 and 15 taken LCM, that LCM will give the result of when they are going to meet again, right? So, yeah, if you look at that, LCM is working out to 180. Yes. So 180 minutes, nothing but 3 hours. So after 3 hours, they are going to toll together. Now second one, Army Parade of 2018. Yeah. So a contingent of Army 616 members and an Army band 32 members. Right. What to do with that? This what is the maximum number of columns in which they can march with the contingent following the band members, right? Right. So you need band members leading and contingent members will be following. Okay. In how we can achieve that? So you need to take HCF basically. Highest common factor of both is coming to 8. The maximum number of columns is 8. Okay, that means we have 4 rows of army band, right? And 77 rows of army contingent, right? So that's what is given, and HCF is 8. So maximum number of columns equal to 8 is the answer for the given question, right? What are the common mistakes to avoid in examination to score full marks? So otherwise what happens? 1 or 2 marks they'll cut for small mistakes. So thereby affecting our ranking, right? Right. Grades will get affected. So not to permit that, what need to do is that avoid the common mistakes suggested below. So first common mistake is not simplifying the fractions. So mostly it happens when you are in a hurry of answering in an examination. The moment you look at Q factor, that is P by Q, you will try to factorize it, and there is a problem, right? Okay. And after that, forgetting co-prime condition. So whenever irrationality proofs are there, this particular phrase it is expecting co-prime condition has to be explicitly expressed there. In irrationality proofs, state that A and B are co-prime integers at the very beginning, because at the end of the problem where we try to declare that as irrational, we need to have the statement readily available that they are co-prime. There is a condition with which we have started, right? So when they are co-prime, definitely, yeah, naturally, what happens is when A and B are co-prime, irrationality proof can be comfortably established. There we use this particular concept, right? Okay. Other mistakes, incomplete Euclid steps, right? What are incomplete? Until the remainder becomes zero, you should go on repeating the process. Though even after 10 to 15 times, if you are done, it is not reducing to zero, then you may feel that some mistake happened. But until zero comes as a remainder, we should continue to do in the normal procedure. Okay, right. So we should not skip any intermediate step. Then it will affect the result. Now, missing the contradiction. What is contradiction? Yes, already we know that in proof by contradiction, explicitly state that this contradicts our assumption that A and B are co-prime. So the statement should really appear as it is. I'll read again. This contradicts our assumption that A and B are co-prime. Okay. Now, success strategy. What is success strategy for exam? So, Euclid's division lemma. This is one thing, which is A equal to BQ plus R, where R is lying between 0 and B. Okay. Now, HCF into LCM gives the product of numbers equality. HCF into LCM equal to A into B, the numbers. Okay, third one is terminating decimal. P by Q terminates only if Q equal to 2 power n, 5 power n form. Now, they are the three important points to remember. How to score good marks in board exams. Okay, you can see some 6 tips are provided. You can easily follow. Show all working. Even if your final answer is correct, you need step-by-step solutions for full marks. So use proper mathematical notation. So let A and B be. So like this, you have to properly mention what exactly we are assuming, all that. So it should be expressed clearly, right? Now, final answers, whenever you get, they must be boxed in a proper format so that examiner will understand that they have arrived at this answer. This is the answer which is nicely placed in a box. Okay, box form. Okay, what happens if you don't do that? What happens is your working is so vast for any question, and within that question explanation, what happens is the final answer also will hide in that. So examiner will not be able to look at that particular result directly. So if you box it, it will be highlighted and it will catch the attention of the examiner and he can value it very easily. Very good. Now practice previous year's question papers. Yes, questions often repeat in similar formats, right? Therefore, it is a good practice to go for previous year question papers. Time management, of course, it varies from person to person. So, if you take total questions and total marks, on an average, it comes to 2 to 3 minutes per mark. That's what is the approximate value taken. So, don't spend more time on less marks. So, this is one personal suggestion. Yeah, you can follow that. So, 2 mark questions get nearly 4 to 6. Now, a quick revision if you take 1 mark questions will be asked in the areas of definition questions, simple calculations. There they will be expecting 1 mark questions. And Euclid's algorithm, HCF and LCM problems do attract 2 marks questions. And how about 3? Yeah, 3 marks questions are asked under relationality proofs and application problems. Okay. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Thank you so much.